history of Washington State. So, what did you want to talk about? The judge took his napkin off the table and placed it over his lap. I actually wanted to speak to you about Michael Rhodes. You've probably already seen the news. A young woman was murdered the night before last, and the crime scene was exactly like those of Rhodes' victims. We believe the killer is a copycat, and I wanted to find out if anyone comes to your mind who may have had any inside information to recreate a murder scene so similar. I think going through the crime photos of Rhodes' victims and comparing them to the photos from this recent murder, they are astonishingly alike, down to the slightest detail. Wade said, I was wondering if you would mind having a look at these recent crime scene photos and telling me if there's anything that jumps out at you. Other than myself, you know more about the Michael Rhodes cases than anyone. Wade sipped his coffee while he waited for Judge Mitchell's response. I don't know if I'll be of any help to you now, but I'll have a look, the judge said. Great, thanks. That's all I ask. Wade handed the judge a manila envelope across the table. At this point, I think the killer is most likely someone Rhodes met in prison and we shared details of his murders with. I spent the morning running some checks through the Walla Walla State Penitentiary database, looking for someone who did time with Rhodes and has been recently released and living in the Seattle area. But so far, I haven't found anything promising. I'm still waiting to hear back from one of Rhodes' prison guards, who I'm hoping might be able to tell me if there's anyone in particular Rhodes might have shared information with in prison. Well, I'm sure you'll catch your killer, detective. You always do. Even though Wade's rank was now a sergeant, the judge still always called him detective. But Wade never bothered to correct him. The waitress returned with their food, and the judge flipped through Samantha's crime scene photos while he ate a sandwich. Wade caught a glimpse of Samantha's dead body from across the table, and suddenly lost his appetite. He picked at his food throughout the rest of their lunch. So far, I'm not seeing anything that would help you, the judge said when he tucked the pictures back into the envelope. If I didn't know better, I think I were looking at photos of one of the Seattle slasher victims. But I'll take a closer look at them tonight. That'd be great. I haven't seen you at the gym in a long time, the judge said when they stood to leave. I figured I probably just intimidated you with how much I could bench press. Wade cracked a smile. Yeah, right. Seriously, though, we should meet there after work one of these days. As soon as I close this new case, I'll be there, Wade promised. All right, but take care of yourself in the meantime. Don't let this copycat get under your skin. I won't. He lied. Thanks again for looking at those photos. Not a problem, the judge said as they walked out of the restaurant. I'll let you know if I come up with anything that might help. Great. Talk to you soon. Wade hoped the judge would be of some help as he walked back to the station in the pouring rain. He hated to admit it, but they didn't have much else to go on. Wade was back at his desk at the Seattle Homicide Unit that afternoon when his phone rang. Seeing the Eastern Washington area code on the caller ID, Wade answered the call. McKinnon. Hey, this is Dale from Walla Walla Penitentiary. Just returning your call about Michael Rhodes. Yeah, thanks for calling back. When I called earlier, they said you would be the best guy for me to talk to. I understand you've been a guard at the penitentiary for over 20 years? That's right. I'm sure you've heard in the news about our recent murder that replicates those of Rhodes. Yes, I did hear about that. What can I do for you? Well, as you may have also heard, we believe our killer is a copycat of Michael Rhodes. I was hoping you could tell me if there were any inmates in particular that Rhodes was close with during his imprisonment, or any certain prisoner he might have given details to about his killings. You probably know as well as I do that Rhodes maintained his innocence all the way up to his execution. He was very vocal about it with other inmates. Because of that, he was always pretty much a loner. I don't remember him ever showing any sort of interest in any of the other prisoners. Sorry, I wish I could give you more helpful information. Wade had figured as much. That's okay. I guess that would have just been too easy. Were there any prisoners who would have had contact with Rhodes that have since been released? No. Rhodes is kept in our intensive management facility where all the prisoners are either in for life or on death row. The only way to get released from that facility would be to get your conviction overturned. We haven't released anyone from there in over 15 years. All right. Well, thanks for returning my call, Wade said. He hung up, already thinking about where to go from here. They had made virtually no progress in the case when Wade left for the night. He hadn't planned on it, but he found himself turning into Rhodes' old